Alright, so we're back under the hood here in our 2007 Ford Freestyle. Just wanted to kind of make a video. We've got all that nonsense with the AC there off. So what we're going to do now, this guy is for our power steering, which is in a horrible place, as it's going to get bent there, and then I've got no power steering. So we're going to see if we can move that in here. I am going to unplug and unbolt the fan, because I'm going to bypass, in essence, the fan. I'm not going to wire it directly, at least not this year. I'm just running a stock class anyways. We're going to run, got the thermostat here, the sensor, which is, where's she at? Right there, down in there just a little bit. We're going to pull that and run a sensor on top. So first, I'm going to gut that, and I'm going to pull that out, just unplug it rather, leave that in there so it's not spewing everywhere. And I'm going to plug in the sensor to make sure it's kind of cycling normally. After I do that, don't need the fan anymore. I'm going to unhook this, pull this off, and for now that's pretty much all we're going to do inside. This then, I'm going to see if I can kind of bolt it in the inside. I'm not really sure. I guess worst case, I'll just take this kind of cooling grid off and just get some sort of a thin pipe to attach it there and there, and I can easily put it inside there then. The first thing I'm going to do though before all that, just to make sure I do it right, this, I call it the impact sensor. Right there he is. So we're going to snip both those wires, battery off of course, and we're going to splice them together, tape them super good, and that should get rid of that. Otherwise, one hit likely and I am done. And the last thing of note, we are going to leave the stock tank in there. One, because we're in the school year, we're busy, and I might need my tank to run the PT Cruiser. Not that I want to save this car, but just in case this car is still functioning, I want to be able to run two cars in the next Derby, possibly early October. There might be one coming up from some different people that run them in our area, and I want to make sure my wife can run this if she still has a little bit of a run left. So that's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take the impact sensor, get rid of that, make sure the engine still works, should. Then we're going to get this guy, thermostat, and then we're going to pull that sensor and plug in my new one I got, make sure the engine still runs as well as it currently does, and then we'll see what we can do with this. So here we go. See how successful we are.
Yeah.
Alright, Hudson's recording. We wanted to show, this is our thermostat. I just dropped it in dirt, got a little bit of dirt on it. The gasket looks good, which is good. My other car, the PT Cruiser, it did not look good, and I had to replace that because it wouldn't seal properly. So what we think we're going to try to do, we're going to try to just gut. Just got a little cold. You still got it in the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to try to just knock this guy out, pull this out, and I think we're going to have exactly what we want. So we're probably going to do just like we did before. He's coughing on camera. Cut it here, and then it should just fall out, and we'll have our hole there, and we'll just put it back in. It goes like this, and we'll be ready to go. So here we go. We're going to gut our thermostat. Just wanted one final view to show this is perfect. You see that guy right there, which I think is the actual sensor. It goes up to 180 degrees, and then I think it's supposed to pop. It was sitting inside there, the circle, and I just took a hammer, turned it over, and popped it out. And my gasket here, I need to make sure we don't lose that. But that is perfect. Set in my other car, I pretty much, the PT Cruiser, left it like this with the gasket on. It wasn't as big here, but this guy, as you can see, is perfect. So that is the actual part, so get it back in there. It's the perfect seal. It's like a little bit of a rubber-like washer, and that is in essence the exact size I wanted. Not too big, not too small. It's going to let water flow. This thing sits up in like that, so perfect. And there's our guts. We just carefully kind of cut off, and it pops off. So sweet. Just to show that yes, 4 Derby cars in, and what we've run 1, 2, 3, 7 Derbies now. We've ran across those 3 cars with pre-ran cars counting. Yes, you can still do something stupid, like as you are perfectly putting the perfectly gutted thermostat back in, bolting it back down. You're going to be done in your motor. I'm actually going to leave the fan in there because it should still run as the motor gets hot. I got my thermostat again, unplugged it, it was right here, plugged new one in right there, zip tied, it won't move. Everything's good to go. Didn't even think I was over torquing at all, and that sucker, whenever I was tightening it down, just snapped. So that stupid thermostat housing, this complex mess here. 50 bucks online is the cheapest I could find. Save 25 bucks at 75 at AutoZone, so should be here well before, and I'll just unbolt it here. The hoses, it's just bolted right there, unbolt that, and it should be a, as long as I carefully don't over torque it again, fix. But still gotta make a headache for myself as we're finishing. But motor's done. Other than that, the wires, we'll wait till we cut the glass out. Just snip those and run my battery cables in like I always do. Mount the battery in there. So just gonna clean out the inside a little bit. It's a couple last things, and we're pretty much ready to take the glass out and paint.